It was a sweltering night in Los Angeles, 1985. The city was restless, suffocating under the heat wave. Windows were left open to catch the slightest breeze, families asleep in their beds, unaware that a predator was lurking in the shadows. Barefoot, dressed in black, and armed with knives and a gun, he slipped silently through windows and doors. What followed was a nightmare. He didn't have a single method, a single type of victim, or even a consistent weapon. Instead, he struck at random, leaving behind scenes of horror that shocked investigators and terrified an entire state. His name would become infamous. Richard Ramirez, the man the press called the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez was born in El Paso, Texas in 1960. His childhood was marked by violence, poverty, and trauma. His father was a strict, volatile man, often punishing Richard harshly. Even worse, Richard idolized his older cousin Miguel, a Vietnam veteran who bragged about torturing and killing women during the war. Miguel introduced young Richard to drugs, graphic violence, and sexual abuse. By the time Ramirez was a teenager, he was already obsessed with death, Satanism, and the dark side of human nature. He suffered from seizures, dropped out of school, and drifted into petty crime. But his urges were growing darker, more dangerous, more uncontrollable. Moving to Los Angeles in the early 1980s, Ramirez lived like a drifter, using drugs, stealing, and sleeping in cheap motels. But in 1984, his crimes escalated in ways the city would never forget. On June 28, 1984, 79-year-old Jenny Vinkow was found brutally murdered in her apartment. Her throat was slashed, and her body showed signs of sexual assault. It was a shocking, brutal crime, but investigators at the time didn't know it was just the beginning of a reign of terror. Unlike many serial killers, Ramirez had no pattern. He attacked men, women, and children. His victims ranged from 9 years old to over 80. He broke into homes at random, using whatever weapon he could find: guns, knives, a tire iron, even a telephone cord. Ramirez became known for his cruelty. He not only killed, but also tormented and assaulted his victims, leaving survivors traumatized for life. He forced some to pray to Satan. He left satanic symbols scrawled on walls. The randomness of his attacks, rich neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, young or old, meant no one in California felt safe. By 1985, Los Angeles was gripped in fear. People nailed shut their windows, bought new locks, and slept with baseball bats beside their beds. Parents wouldn't let children play outside. Police were overwhelmed, struggling to track the killer who left so few clues. The investigation became one of the largest in California's history. A single shoe print, left at multiple crime scenes, finally gave police a clue: a rare, obvious sneaker. A fingerprint from a stolen car added to the evidence. When Ramirez struck in San Francisco, Mayor Dianne Feinstein revealed crucial details to the press, accidentally tipping off Ramirez that police were closing in. Furious, investigators doubled down. The breakthrough came on August 31st, 1985. Ramirez was recognized in East Los Angeles after his face appeared on newspapers and television across California. Locals spotted him and chased him through the streets, beating him until police arrived. The community itself had captured the monster. Ramirez's trial became a media spectacle. He smiled coldly at the cameras, flashed satanic hand signs, and showed no remorse. He was convicted of 13 murders, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. In 1989, Ramirez was sentenced to death. His response was chilling. Big deal. Death always comes with the territory. See you in Disneyland. He spent the rest of his life on death row at San Quentin Prison until his death from cancer in 2013. Experts describe Ramirez as the embodiment of a psychopath. No empathy, no remorse, only sadistic pleasure in causing pain. His fascination with Satanism wasn't just symbolic. It was his way of justifying his crimes and terrifying his victims. Unlike killers who follow patterns, Ramirez's randomness made him even more dangerous. He thrived on chaos, on proving that no one was safe. Richard Ramirez's reign of terror left scars across California that still linger today. His story reshaped how law enforcement handles serial killers, emphasizing quicker communication across jurisdictions and better handling of forensic evidence. But for the victims' families, the wounds never fully healed. The Night Stalker remains a chilling reminder of how evil can walk among us. Unpredictable, merciless, and hiding behind a human face. Evil doesn't always come in patterns. Sometimes it comes in chaos. And in the mid-1980s, chaos had a name: Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.